Good afternoon, good evening, good morning from wherever you're watching around this beautiful globe of ours. I'm Jimmy James. You're watching Catch It Live First. Currently, we're renaming it Catch It as Live First. We've still got a live stream restriction in place. Still trying to sort it out with YouTube. That's another story for another time. Today, we're watching Australia playing India in the final Super 8 stages of the ICC 2024 World Cup. And who would have thought we would have got to this stage with England being through to the semi-finals already, Australia, who did England the favour against Scotland, needing to win this game against India. Australia have won the toss. They've elected to field. Never thought we would have got to this stage of the Australians needing a victory to progress through. They've played so well and looked in such control in each game. Well, as we say, it's a funny old game. Before we start, if you haven't done so already, please click subscribe. And more importantly, at the minute, we need likes. And also, if you click the notifications bell, you can keep abreast of what we've got coming up eventually, once we get the issues sorted out with YouTube. But for now, we'll deal with what we've got. We'll run what we've brung, which will be a delayed live coverage of the cricket. Going to be Mitchell Stark to open the bowling for Australia. Fingers crossed there's no weather interventions. It's been a little bit of a plague on certain games this tournament, which is unfortunate, but that's the way it is. That's the way the cookie crumbles. There's a decent enough crowd in, making enough noise. We've got everything set. We need the scoreboard to update, and we'll be good to go. Quick run through the lineups. India go with Sharma, Kohli, Pant, Yadav, Doob, Pandya, Jadeja, Patel, Yadav, Singh and Bumrah. Australia go with Warner, Head, Marsh, Maxwell, Stoinis, David, Wade, Cummins, Stark, Zampa and Hazelwood. As they say in the USA, let's play ball. Stark into Rohit, pushes this a point. Bit of bounce there for Stark, that'll be a dot ball. Rohit's not really got going in the last couple of matches I've seen, so hopefully for him, this is going to be the game. If you're an Australian, Genwill, you'll be hoping not. Everybody else can relax now. Genwill, you'll be biting your nails, no doubt, my friend. But let's hope you can win this one. You did us a favour against Scotland. That's a little bit wide outside the off stump. It looked like a bump ball. It's gone to second slip. And they're claiming a catch. So is this going for a review already? This is only the second ball. Are they going to review it? It was wide outside off stump. Rohit followed it. I think it looked like a bump ball. But then whether the bat hit the ground and then the ball hit the bat and straight to the slip, we'll find out now. This won't be a good start for India. It'll be a cracking start for Mitchell Stark. What a start for this. This would be for our friends down under. Anthony B, you can be watching this with a nice cool beer in your hand, mate. No, the pressure's off after last night. David Anthony Joseph Jr., commiserations, mate. You can have a beer and just enjoy the cricket. It was actually a wide ball. It's a bump ball. It's definitely a bump ball there. It comes off the bat full toss, then into the ground. then to the fielder. If you're an Indian fan, you can stop panicking. Stark runs in now for his third delivery. One slip in place. Outside the off stump, this one's clipped through deep mid-wicket. Not perfectly timed, but it'll go to the boundary. That's 4 on the board for India. Yeah, I didn't time it perfectly there, but it still travelled at a fair rate of knots. Just for a minute, it looked like the fielder at mid-wicket might be coming into play for a catch there, but the ball sort of drifted in the air. To the fielder's right-hand side, and away to the boundary it goes. Stark in again. Fourth ball of the over. This one's cut to third man. Dampers down there. That'll be a single. India move on to 5 for none. Raw hit. Looking pretty good at the minute. Didn't look worried actually when that review went in. He obviously knew what the score was, which currently is 5 for no wickets. 2 balls left, in this Stark opening over. Kohli on strike. Pushes that to cover. Little misfield there by Stoinis, but still dot ball. I hope everybody's feeling refreshed today after last night's cricket. I managed to get about 20 minutes sleep before my alarm went off. I did set it back a little bit. Had a busy morning's work. Still got more to do actually, but I'll get that finished after this match is over. Get some sleep and then we'll be going again at 1:30 tomorrow morning. Join us then. Won't be live. It won't be sorted by then, I'm sure. Either way, Stark runs in. Kohli just pushes this back to the bowler. End of the over. 5 runs from it. Just a quick reminder, Australia won the toss and elected to field. Another reminder, Australia need to win this to progress. Otherwise, it's bon voyage to the Aussies. Now, normally I would be thinking, meh. You know what our rivalry is like with Australia, being an England fan. However, when England were in the brown stuff and we needed our friends down under to do us a favour against Scotland, you pulled it out of the bag. You made us sweat. You did make us sweat. But you did us a solid there, as the youth would say. And now England are in the semis thanks to Australia. And like I said earlier, what a crazy game cricket can be. So it's going to be Hazelwood into Rohit. Right-hand batsman, right-hand bowler. This one's just pushed to backward point. That'll be a single. Isn't it funny? I see my face on the screen, obviously, on the recording stuff, and during the daytime, doesn't look too bad. As soon as it gets past 9 o'clock, which is my normal bedtime, start getting baggy eyes, a swollen face. It's all good fun though. There's never enough hours in the day. Hazelwood runs in. Kohli on strike. This one's full length. Just pushes it to mid-wicket. That'll be a dot ball. Just a reminder, the power play is in effect for the first 6 overs. No more than 2 players allowed outside the 30-metre boundary mark. Australia on the attack in the first over with Stark with a slip in place. Thought he'd taken a catch, but it was a bump ball. Going to be Hazelwood into Kohli. A slip in for him. A second slip, I would say. That one's pushed through the covers straight at the fielder. Dot ball. Yeah, Hazelwood's got a slip in as well. And he's kind of covering where you might expect second and third slip to be. More towards second, I would say. But been looking forward to this match all day. So much easier when you've got to work, isn't it? If you've got something you're looking forward to, puts a bit of a spring in your step, get it done, do it with a good heart, then enjoy the cricket. This one outside off stump, bit of a bounce. He's clubbed that to the leg side. He's got a top edge. And if you're an Indian fan, I'm afraid that's been caught. Holy, he's faced 5 deliveries. And you know what he's got coming. Don't like to do this. But he tried to club that over mid-wicket set, a deep mid-wicket. And it just got a big top edge. It went high, high, high. Plenty of time for the fielder to get underneath it. And actually took the catch running towards the boundary. But David pocketed that lovely. Kohli goes for none from 5 deliveries. India 6 for 1. Still 2 balls to go in this second over. Hazelwood, he's gone for 1, 2 dot balls and then a wicket. And it's going to be Pant to come in. Let's have a look what he's been doing in this tournament. Rishabh Pant. What's his best for the tournament? He's just taking guard. 42. He'll be looking for at least that today. It's not going to be easy though, with Stark and Hazelwood bowling. You've got Stoinis, you've got Zampa. Some bowling attack that the Australians have got. Hazelwood runs in. Pant waits, left-handed batsman. Lovely shot, pushes it to mid-off, straight to the fielder. That'll be a dot ball. Just seeing a replay of Kohli's departure. He did. He got it off the. It was like a top edge, and he hit it a little bit low as well, low down on the bat. Hazelwood in, final delivery to Pant. Plays that inside out shot, pushes it through the offside. That'll be a dot ball. Just noticed there, Pant, when the first 2 deliveries he faced there for Hazelwood, likes to put his pads in front of the stumps there. And the way that Hazelwood can shape that ball, if he misses that with the bat, he's a definite LBW appeal at least. Needs to be careful with that. If he needs to take some advice from Jimmy James, who sat in his armchair telling him how to bat. But we're entitled to our opinions, aren't we? So end of the second over, India on 6 for 1. It'll be Rohit on strike. He's currently scored 6 from 5 deliveries. It's going to be Stark to bowl his second over. Left-handed bowler to right-handed batsman. This one, not a lot of footwork. Clubbed over deep cover. Timed beautifully. The Indian fans are going ecstatic. They're ecstatic with that shot. And I think it's because Rohit's looking like he's in a little bit of form here. No footwork, no movement at all from the feet. Just timed it with the shoulders as much as anything. It reminded me of that shot you'd play when you were a kid and you had the test cricket. You know, when you used to press the thing and the batsman would flick the bat. That's just what that shot was like from Rohit. Just all shoulder movement. 12 for 1. Stark in again. This one's clubbed a carbon copy. Didn't go quite as far, but it's still gone over the boundary for 6. Stark has a rueful smile on his face. Once again, no footwork, just a swing of the shoulders, and it just landed, and I mean just, landed on the apparal around the field that marks out where the boundary is. I'm going 6. Oh, Ricky Ponting sounds like he's trying to say, oh, it just caught the grass. No, that's 6. That's 6. Then Will, was that 6? Don't be biased now. That's hit the boundary before it's hit the grass. Hope you're keeping well, my friend. There we are, confirmed. 6. Jimmy James's eyesight's not that bad. Stark runs in. Raw hit on strike. This time he clubs over mid-on. That'll race to the boundary for 4. Blimey O'Reilly Governor, you don't normally see Stark getting this treatment. My guess is, next ball, he's going to bowl a bouncer. And either let the batsman try and hook him. Didn't time that too well, actually, but it raced to the boundary, beat the fielder at mid-on. 22 for 1. India move on to 16 from the over so far. What does Rohit do here? I'm pretty sure there's a man at deep backward square leg waiting there. There's a bouncer coming. Stark runs in. What's Rohit going to do? Oh, my word. Oh, my word. He's clubbed it out of the ground over. He's clubbed that out of the ground over deep mid-wicket. That was absolutely a ginormous hit. Just outside the off stump, just a little bend of the knees. And just times that so well. 96 metres. You're going to need a new ball. Nearly it's a young lady. It looks like she was on her way to the laboratories. She definitely will be now after that ball bounced just behind her. 17 metres high that went. 96 metres long. Wowzer. Rohit's definitely had his Weetabix this morning. He moves on to 28 from 9 deliveries. He's got all of the runs himself so far. This time, Stark bowls one wide and a full length outside off stump. Rohit tries chopping his bat onto it, but through to the keeper, dot ball. That'll be a relief for Stark and the Australian as a whole. The raw score went to 110. We've had that as high as 126, I think. Final ball of Stark's over. Raw hit on strike. That's a wide ball there from Stark. And it's given as such. Just seeing the highlights of this over again. Stark won't want to see that. India 28 for 1. Every single run has come from Rohit Sharma. He looks in fine form. Stark in again, bowls a full toss outside off stump. Rohit just flings his bat at it, trying to drive it through covers, gets a big edge or top edge, and it flies down to third man and over the boundary. That'll be another 6. It's not 29 runs from that Stark over. It's not often you see Stark taken to the woodsheds like that. Oh, blimey, governor. The Indian fans will be in utopia. That's not too strong a word, watching that. 65 metres that went, flew off the top edge off a full toss. India 35 for 1. Rohit scored 34 of them from 11 deliveries. Pant is batting, by the way. He's faced 2. He's still to get off the mark, and he'll be on strike now. Hazelwood runs in. Good delivery from Hazelwood. Perfect defensive shot there from Pant. Just pushed it back to the bowler. Body and bat, head all in line. Perfectly straight bat. Textbook defensive shot there for any users watching. Current run rate's 11.05. How do you like them onions, says Rohit. Hazelwood runs in. Pant waits. This one just bounces a little. Flat bats it to cover. Straight to the fielder. Dot ball. It's funny, you never quite know what India's going to turn up, do you? But it looks like today they're trying to make a statement. And the statement is, regardless of your reputation, we're going after you, Mitchell Stark. We're going after you, Josh Hazelwood. Although Hazelwood, his figures are 1 for 1 from 1 over and 2 deliveries. So he's getting a little bit more respect from Stark, I should say. Pant just pushes this to mid-wicket. Fielder dives but can't stop it. That'll just be a single. 36 for 1, India move on to. So Pant gets off strike. The donut has gone. I wonder if Hazelwood's thinking walking back now in his run up. Oh, I hope Rohit's not going to give me the same treatment. I know I would. All the way back you'd be thinking, is he going to make me look like a fool here? What ball would I bowl? I would probably try and bowl a Yorker. Maybe a slower Yorker. Just get him thinking. They got a... Oof. Almost plays that onto his own stumps there. Ball outside off stump. Gets an inside edge. Misses the stumps and the wicket keeper will field that for a dot ball. Oh, that must have been close to the leg stump. But you make your own luck in this game. And Rohit, he's definitely making it happen for him today. Hazelwood runs in. This one just chops that to backward point. That'll be a single. Oinis in the field. 37 for 1. Excuse me. Run rate's at 9.65, so it's come down a little. I'm not surprised. Australia just changing the field round as we've got a left-hander and a right-hander in. Rohit being the right-hander, which by the powers of deduction means Pant must be the left-hander. Oh, I'm missing the live chat. Missing the live chat, something rotten. Hazelwood into Pant. Respectful there again is Pant. Straight bat, defensive shot, just drops it down in front of himself, fielded by the bowler. That's the end of the over. 37 for 1. India. Well, the start of the fifth over, still 2 overs left of the power play. It's going to be Cummins coming into the attack. They're going to give Stark a break. And it's going to be Rohit on strike. Just trying to see where they've got the 2 fielders outside of the 30-metre zone. Oh no, it looks like there's some rain on the way. Cummins into Rohit, clubs this from outside off stump. He smashes it over leg side. He's put it out of the stadium on the roof. My, oh my. Nothing wrong with that delivery from Cummins. Good line, good length outside off stump. And Rohit has just clubbed it over deep, maybe forward square leg, and it just flew onto the roof and out of the ground, it looks like. 100 metres that went. Bad news is there's rain and the covers are getting prepared to be rushed on. Hopefully it's not going to be too much of a delay. Yeah, the covers are coming on. The Australian fielders are still on the pitch. The batsmen are running off. 43 for 1 India from 4 overs and 1 delivery. Raw hits on 41 from 14. I think the fastest 50 so far is from 22 deliveries. Can't remember the batsman, but there was 2 of them joint. I think one was de Kock and I can't remember the other. But Rohit, he's probably, if he carries on like this, he's gonna beat that by some distance. So we've got an interruption in play now while the covers come on and hopefully the rain disappears. So what I'll do, because I am recording this as live, rather than just waffle to fill time, I can pause the recording. So the next time we speak, the delay will be over and we'll be back with play. Fingers crossed anyway. I'll go for a cup of coffee. We'll be back in a minute. As if by magic, the rain has disappeared, the covers are off, the batsmen are in the middle, and the fielding team are getting into position. The beauty of an as live watch along. The downside is no live chat, which is a bit rubbish, but there we go. Not going to keep going on about it. To be honest, there wasn't that much of a rain delay there. As soon as the covers were on, there's quite a breeze blowing across the ground. And the rain that came in lasted no more than a couple of 3 minutes. So as fast as the covers came on, they were taken off again. Then it was just a case of the outfield being dried up as much as possible. The 2 little trucks pulling the rope around with a super soaker attached. We're off to go, so we've lost 10 minutes there, something like that. Enough time for Jimmy to have a comfort break. So we've got Cummins in. Raw hit on strike. That just hits the batsman, drops at his feet. That'll be a dot ball. Unlike the first ball that Cummins bowled to Rohit that went out of the ground. The 6 biscuits, as they say, creamed it. Just had a vision of a custard cream then. Could do with a custard cream now and a coffee actually. Cummins into Rohit. This one, bit of width outside the off stump. That's just crashed through through point actually. Straight to the boundary, no chance for the fielder. Rohit moves on to 45. He's only faced 16 deliveries. I was saying just before the interval that the record so far for the tournament is, I'm sure it's 50 from 22 deliveries. I think there was 2 batsmen on that record. I think one was De Kock, and I can't remember who the other player was, but I'm pretty sure that Rohit, he's going to beat that today. Cummins into him, beats him on the outside edge all there, through to the keeper. No contact with the bat. That's a dot ball. Good ball there from Cummins. Beat him on length as much as anything there. Trying to push it through the covers on the up, and made no contact, luckily. He's on 45, and India are on 47. That tells you how dominant Rohit's been. This time he runs down the wicket, tries to slash it somewhere, but gets a top edge. It goes over the wicket keeper. India move on to 51 for 1, and Rohit moves on to 49 from just 18 deliveries. He's going to get his 50, but assuming he doesn't get out, he's going to beat that record of 22 deliveries. Final ball of Cummins is over. Rohit on strike. This time he pushes it to mid-off. That's his 50, and it's taken just 19 deliveries. What an innings that is. That's going to take some beating from this tournament. That's for sure. 5 overs complete, so 1 left of the power play. But he's been so dominant, Rohit. India are 52 for 1. Rohit's on 50. Pant's got 1. And the other run came from a wide. What an innings. Who's going to come on at the other end now? It's going to be Rohit Sharma on strike again, whoever it is. I don't think anyone will be volunteering. Ah, there we are. Yeah, the other, it was Aaron Jones, USA. It's going to be Hazelwood into Rohit. Bowls it into his thigh pad. Deflects to backward point. That'll just be a single, a leg by. Bench went up as one there as Rohit Sharma got his 50. He raises his bat in triumph. Hopefully he'll be looking forward to the next 50. Ant playing a supporting role at the minute. He's scored just 1 from 6 deliveries. But when Rohit Sharma's in this form, you wouldn't want to be on strike, would you? You'd just be wanting to get Rohit on. This time he goes for a reverse sweep, does Pant. Just falls short of backward point and short third man, and that will be a dot ball. Maybe he's just getting a little bit frustrated that he's not keeping up with Rohit. It was almost a premeditated shot, came off his gloves in the end. He lives to bat another ball. Waits, Hazelwood in. Slog this over to deep square leg, and he'll get a single for it. Not a good shot really, but he'll move on to 2. India move on to 54 for 1. Still 3 balls left of the power play. Balls left, and it's going to be Rohit on strike. Got a deep square leg and a deep point. Tries to club this one. over to forward square leg, but just gets a bottom edge and he'll get a single there. Rohit moves on to 51. India 55 for 1. Run rate is 9.71 at the minute. You'd take that from the opening 6 overs any day of the week, and there's still 2 balls to go. Hazelwood runs into left-handed Pant. This time he stands and clubs this over deep mid-wicket. 1 bounce over the boundary. Pant wants some of the action now. He moves on to 6 from 9 deliveries. 59 for 1. India. That run rate creeps up now over 10 just. Let's be honest, the Australians would have been hoping that India were going to have an off day. And up to now, it's not happened like that. Pant just cuts this to short third man. A little bit of a misfield from a diving stop. But just a single from it. Took enough pace off it there, did Warner. Good attempt from the fielder. End of the 6th over. 8 runs from it. India move on to 60 for 1. Good effort from Hazelwood there. 1 for 10 from 3 overs. So it's going to be Pant on strike. Interesting fact there. That was the quickest 50 from an Indian playing Australia in all internationals. Kudos to Rohit. Mr. Sharma breaks a record. Australia turning to spin now. It's going to be Zampa to come on to Pant. He runs in. Left-handed batsman. First ball straight down the wicket to him. Takes him on. No respect shown there for Zampa. That's just clubbed over between deep cover. Sorry, clubbed between deep mid-wicket and long on. It has flown. Trying to see how far that's gone. 85 metres that went. So Pant on strike again. This time he cuts that one. Deep point. That'll just be a single. And unluckily for Zampa, Rohit's now on strike. Seven for 1. Rohit just plants his foot forward, pushes that to the leg side. Zampa fields a scramble for a quick single there. Very restrained there from Rohit. But in saying that, it was a good ball from Zampa, so treat it with respect and get a single at this stage. That's what the Indian batsmen need to be doing. Run rate's at 10.46. Pant on strike now. Bit of width from Zampa. This time it's clubbed the deep point. That'll be a single added to the score. Pant's now on 15 from 13. This is where Zampa's dangerous though, isn't it? When you think you've got him and he'll pull some magical ball out. Rohit clubs this one though, from outside off, over deep mid-wicket. He's timed that beautifully. Didn't time it, didn't come off the middle of the bat, but it was just the timing. 75 for 1. Still one ball left of this Zampa over. Have a bit of that, says Rohit. Zampa looks round as though to say, don't you know how good I am? Rohit, no respecter. No respecter of the bowler there. $15 from this opening over. One ball left of it. Zampa into Rohit. Takes a couple of strides down the wicket. Zampa bowls it into his pad, so he just clips it onto the leg side for a single. End of the 7th. India move on to 76 for 1. The word I was trying to look for was Rohit was no respecter of reputation. First ball up. Pant. No respecter of reputation. Clubbed Zampa for 6. And not wanting to be outdone, Rohit joined in as well. Stoinis is going to come into the attack here. Run rate's at 10.86. It's going to be Rohit Sharma on strike. Looks like there's a bit of cloud about as well here. This is chewing his gum, sorting his field out. Looks like he means business. He runs in. It's Rohit on strike. Good line, good length. Just pushed back to the bowler by Rohit there. Dot ball. Stoinis into Rohit again. This time Rohit just takes a hop, skip and a jump down the wicket, clubs it onto the leg side, and it just flies to the boundary for 4. It was a bit of a slog, to be honest, but he timed it well enough and it's just flown to the boundary. Stoinis will not like this. You know what his character's like. This could get fiery. Could be a bouncer coming Rohit's way here. Caught it a bit off the bottom of the bat, but it still flew to the boundary at forward square leg. Stoinis in again. Pulls this one to Rohit. This time he just bends his knees and he's just clubbed it for 6 over deep backward square leg, and Stoinis just chews his gum, shows no emotion on his face, but he's not going to be happy with this. Rohit took the one ball and shown him respect with the first ball, where it was a dot. He just played it in front of him. The next one he's clubbed it for 4. The next one he's clubbed it for 6. Almost caught in the crowd at the second attempt, one-handed. Good effort. This time, hop, skip and a jump down the wicket. He's gone. He's timed that beautifully over deep cover. No fielder out there. Stoinis is being taken to the woodshed and taught a lesson. Rohit, 75 from 28 deliveries. What's going on here? You don't do this to Mitchell Starc. You don't do this to Stoinis. You don't do this to Cummins. The only bowler who's really got away with it has been Hazelwood. His figures are pretty good. But Stoinis runs in again. This time he bowls a little bit of a shorter delivery outside off. flat batted to the leg side. They'll get just a single there. This is an absolute privilege to watch. 79 metres that 6 went. Glum face from an Australian supporter there. Ecstasy on the face of the Indian supporters. "17 gone from the over so far. Pant on strike now. Stoinis bowls. Tries to clip that to the leg side. Gets a leading edge though. It goes high in the air. And the catch is taken. The Pant goes for 15. Just spoils that over. 17 runs went for it. But Pant was trying to clip that onto the leg side. Got a big leading edge and it just went high into the air. And a comfortable catch for the fielder. Josh Hazlewood out there. Safe pair of hands. Richard Pant, he goes for 15 from 14 deliveries. 1-4, 1-6. Good effort there. Struggled at the start, was just getting into it though. Before Stoinis outfoxed him. Hazlewood took the catch. 93 for 2 India though from just 8 overs. Australians getting together, trying to come up with a plan now. Surya Kumar comes into bat. What tact does Surya Kumar take? Does he take a supporting role to Rohit while he's in this form, or does he try and join Rohit and take the Australian bowlers to the woodshed? We'll find out. Start of the 9th over, so it's going to be Rohit on strike. Zamper's going to bowl his 2nd over. His first went for 16. Rohit just jabs his bat down on this one, pushes it to long on. That'll be a leisurely single. And it's going to be Surya Kumar on strike. Be interesting to see how he treats this ball from Zampa. If it was me, I'd be looking to get a single and get Rohit on strike. Let him continue demolishing the Australian attack. Zampa into their new batsman. Holds this onto his pads. He just clips that onto the leg side. That'll be a leisurely single. That's it. Get Rohit back on strike. He's only 23 away from his century. Could be there within 4 deliveries at this rate. Zampa. Wide outside the off stump. Rohit goes after it. Doesn't time it though. Goes over cover. But short of the fielder out at deep extra cover. That'll be a single. Just a little bit wide there. The Rohit to get the middle of the bat. Surya Kumar on strike. 96 for 2 India. Drives this one through point. Dive from the fielder at deep extra cover. In vain though. 100 up. With a loss of 2 wickets from 8 overs and 4 deliveries. Run rate's 11.54. Surya Kumar timed that beautifully. Once it beat the fielder at point, it was a race to the boundary between the boundary runner and the ball won. Surya Kumar's on 5. This one just pushed through mid-wicket for a single. So for the final delivery of the 9th over, it's going to be Rohit on strike. Indian fans are celebrating. Rohit clubs this one. It'll just be a single though there. Clubbed it through deep mid-wicket. That's the end of the over. So he'll stay on strike, will Rohit. He's on 79 from 32. End of the 9th over, 102 for 2, India. Run rate, 11.33. Nine runs from that last over, which ironically was the 9th over. Henry Russell's just joined us in the room. You all right, mate? Yeah. India taking Australia to town. Stoinis gonna bowl his second over. His first one went for 17. He did manage to get a wicket with his last ball though.
Runs for 2 wickets.
Yeah, look at Rohit. 79 from 32 balls. Stoinis into Rohit. Bit of a bouncer here. He hooks that just over the fielder at short fine leg. That races away to the boundary. 83 for Rohit. 106 for 2, India move on to. Stoinis is not going to be happy with this. He got a top edge, but it's still flew over short fine leg. Just by a foot over his outstretched hand. But it's enough. Means grimaces. Stoinis runs in. Swing and a miss from Rohit through to the keeper. No bat though. He's not. He's absolutely taken Mitchell Stark, Cummins. The only one who he's not taken to town has been Hazelwood, but he's been hitting it out of the ground. Sorry, I'm just telling Henry Russell what's been going on with Rohit's innings so far. This could definitely be one of the fastest centuries if he continues. That's going to be a wide from Stoinis. Awful ball. That's the only way they're going to stop him hitting boundaries. That'll be a single. And he's got to ball it again.
So it doesn't count.
No. He can still be out off a wide, but only if you stumped or run out. But anything else.
Yes.
Well, it won't be a wide then, would it? You've hit it.
See?
Rohit on strike. This time he hooked Stoinis. Clattered that over deep backward square leg. Well, they're saying it's a 4. I thought that was a 6. Well, we'll go with what they've said. We'll change that. But let's have another look. It's up. It's up. It's up. It's up. It's... Oh, it dropped a foot short. I take that back. It was a 4. But it Stoinis is giving Surya Kumar the eye. Rohit on strike. This time he pushes one into the leg side off his pads. That'll just be a single. Need to calm down here. I'm getting giddy. I'm getting drawn into the innings and need to remember that we're doing a commentary on a watch along. 112 for 2. Rohit's on 88 from 36. Run rate 11.59. Stoinis has still got 2 balls left of this over. Excuse me. There'll be Surya Kumar on strike. 6 from 3 deliveries. Flips this off his hips to Deep square leg, that'll just be a leisurely single. Going to be raw hit on strike for the final ball of this 10th over. Big smile on his face, raw hit. Good to see. Enjoying his cricket, and who wouldn't be after this innings he's putting together? The band's playing in the crowd. Stoinis runs in, raw hit waits. Bottom edge to point, that'll just be a single. End of the 10th over. 114 for 2, India. Raw hits on 89 from 37 deliveries. Frankie James has just brought me 3 packets of Mill Reliables. Spicy chili. And we've got some dry roasted as well. There's just a little break, as always, with the 10th over. They'll have a drink and get some TV ads in. We won't at the minute because we're not allowed to. I don't know if there's an issue with having a stream sponsor. Oh, these are spicy, but they're blooming good. A little bit healthier, I think, than eating a Pringle. Got to have a snack though while you watch the cricket. I've got me cherry, I think it's mixed fruit or cherry, mixed fruit tango, sugar free. A dry, spicy chili, KP peanuts. I've got some dry roasted there and some salted as well. That'll keep us going for a few days. Won't be streaming this Saturday because we're going to a festival. Let's Rock. All the 80s music there. I'm not sure who's headlining this year. In the past it's been Human League, they were good. Belinda Carlisle's good. Billy Ocean. Still superb. A day just to let your hair down. Sit in me chair, having a few beers, listening to music, laughing at everybody who's overdone it. There's usually some good sights. It's as good entertainment people watching later on as listening to music. Cummins into raw hit. Pushes this one through cover. There's a misfield. They'll run 2 now. $116 for 2 now. Raw hit moves on to 91 from 38 deliveries. Unlike Warner there, when with a misfield. Raw hit on strike. Cummins just changing the field there. Just moving deep square leg. Raw hit just cuts this one. Misses backward point. Just be a single though. Keep it out. Fielder down at third man. Throws that in pretty quickly to the keeper Wade. 117 for 2. Raw hits on 92. It'll be Surya Kumar on strike. He's faced 4 deliveries, and he's currently got 7, so he's not hanging around. It's just that Rohit Sharma's making everybody else look foolish. Relatively tortoise-like. Cummins runs in. Swing and a miss outside the off stump from Surya Kumar. Stifled appeal from Wade. No edge involved there though. Just be a dot ball, which Australia will be thankful for. You know, it's not the wicket that's, I wouldn't say it's particularly a batter's wicket or a bowler's wicket. It's just a batting from the batsman has been really good. Surya Kumar, a little bit late on that one, pushes it through to mid-off, but didn't time it high on the bat. Dot ball. 10 overs and 4 deliveries gone. 117 for 2. Cummins runs in, Surya Kumar on strike. Wide outside the off stump. Surya Kumar steps to the offside and then pulls it square for 4. Nobody at deep square. Oh, the big gap there. Made the shot for himself with the movement to the offside and took full advantage. Didn't get it off the middle, but plenty of power there. This time it's bowled outside off stump. Clubs it for. It's gone over deep cover. It's either bounced just over the boundary or just short of it. This will go to a review where they just check whether it's a 4 or a 6. It's one or the other. No fielder involved, that's for sure, and that's the end of the 11th over. Six. Landed just over the boundary. Nice finish to the over there for the Indian side. 10 from 2 balls. India move on to 127 for 2 from 11 overs. Surya Kumar now has moved on to 17 from 8. It's going to be raw hit. Oh, it's going to be raw hit on strike on 92. Coming back into the attack, it's going to be Mitchell Stark. His figures currently are 2 overs, no wickets for 34 runs. No doubt he'll have been thinking how he's going to attack the batsman while he's been in the field. He's had time to stew over it. Raw hit on strike. Stark starts his run up. Who wins this battle, we'll find out. Just pushed to mid-off there, that'll be a dot ball. Good line, good length, bit of bounce off the pitch there for Stark. Stark runs in, raw hit waits. Pulls a Yorker length straight through and under the bat of raw hit. The wickets have gone. So that answers that. Stark finally gets the better of Rohit Sharma, but what an innings there. 92 from 41 deliveries. He came around the wicket to Rohit Sharma. Maybe that was the difference. Yorker length, pace got it under the bat. There was a little inside edge actually onto his pad and then into the wickets. So a grimace on the face of Sharma there. So close to his 100. 7 fours, 8 sixes and just 11 dot balls. Well done, that man. I'd doff my cap if I was wearing one to Rohit Sharma there. He gets a great applause, as you would expect, from the bench with the Indian players on. And while all that was happening, Duba's come into the crease. Run rate is 11.21. The thing is, I don't think the innings is going to slow down because Surya Kumar looks like he's ready to take the attack to the bowlers. Dube's got a best of 34 in this World Cup. Stark's gone back over the wicket again now. Left-handed batsman Dube. Stark runs in. Pulls a little bit of a shorter delivery. This one's just flicked. It's just flicked past the keeper there with the bounce. Third man is not fine enough, and that races to the boundary. 4 runs off his first delivery for Dube. Travis Head, full stretch dive to try and stop the ball, but it was in vain. Too much pace on it. Dube, 4 from 1. Stark runs in again. Left-handed bowler, left-handed batsman. Yorker length gets a little bit of bat on it onto pad. That would have been plumb as a plum thing, but there was contact from the bat. That'll be a dot ball. They almost said, then let us know what snacks you've got for the cricket. But obviously we can't, there's no live chat. Stark into Dube. A little bit of a slow ball there, just clipped to mid-wicket. That'll be a dot ball. So Stark's redeeming himself here a little bit after he got clattered around the ground earlier by Rohit. Stark runs in, final ball of the over. Pitches this one up. Dube tries to push that one through the covers. Diving stop from Stoinis. That'll be a dot ball. Just 4 runs from that last over. 1 for 38 now from 3 overs for Stark. That looks a little bit more respectable. St. Lucia looking beautiful. There's a few clouds around. Hope we're not going to get any rain. Surya Kumar will be on strike. He's scored 17 from 8 deliveries. It's going to be Zampa back into the attack. Pushed too long off there. Just an easy single. His first 2 overs went for 25. No wicket, so Zampa will be hoping he can get away relatively lightly in the scoring department in this his 3rd over. And with Dube on strike, he scored 4 from 4 deliveries. 3 of them were dot balls though. What's Dube gonna do here? He waits as Zampa comes in. Full length delivery. Push through for a single. Deep mid wicket. Just trots in there. That run rate's just dropped below 11 now. 10.78. Zampa into Surya Kumar. This one's onto his pads. He clips it onto the leg side. That'll just be an easy single. 134 for 3, India move on to. Just swapping the strike around, it'll be Doob back on. Zampa. Runs in. Doob waits. Just pushes this one to mid-wicket. Dot ball. Couldn't do a lot with that. It was a good delivery from Zampa. Good line, good length onto his pad, so just clipped away, but no runs available there. Zampa in again. This time, Doob has clubbed it out of the ground, almost like a slog sweep, caught, but by a spectator actually. It went clear out of the main stand, and then a West Indian. Let's see where he catches it. Oh, he's actually in the crowd there. He kept his feet as well as he ran down the bank. Good catch, that man. Big smile on his face. He gets congratulations by his friends, colleagues, acquaintances, strangers. That catch deserved a pat on the back, I've got to say. 140 for 3 now. India move on to. Doob's on to 11 from 7. Final ball of the over. This one's just pushed. Just pushed to through mid-wicket. They're going to take the fielder on. Good running there. 2 from the final ball of the over. 11 runs from it. Doob's on 13 from 8 now, and Surya Kumar will be on strike for the start of the next over, which will be the 14th. Who's going to be the unlucky bowler, it feels like at the minute. Doob's a tall guy, isn't he? And when he gets them long levers, Murphy's in the crowd there, just giving his moustache a little stroke there. Trying to stay calm. The veteran. He was a character, Murphy's, wasn't he? Going to be Stoinis to come back into the attack. His first 2 overs have gone for 29, but he did take a wicket. It will be Surya Kumar on strike. He's currently got 19 from 10 balls faced. India, 142 for 3. 13 overs completed. Stoinis into Surya Kumar. Stands tall, drives this through the leg side. That'll be a single. Fielder at deep mid-wicket. Comes in smartly there. Warner it was. You wouldn't expect any less, would you? He's a good fielder. That run rate's just hovering around 11. It's just dropped under at 10.86 currently. Stoinis runs in. Left-handed Doob waits. This one's clubbed straight back past the bowler. Straight back past mid-off. No one at long off. Not a bad ball, really. Good line, good length, just outside off stump. But clattered to the boundary. 147 India move on to. This time Stoinis bowls into the pads of Doob. Just clips that. Clips that to mid-on. That'll be an easy single. With Surya Kumar on strike now to Stoinis. He's clubbed this. Very little footwork. Deep mid-wicket. Clubbed it for 6. Almost a nonchalant shot. Just pure timing. Lovely smooth swing of the bat. Caught it right out of the middle. Flew over the boundary. Incredible shot. Stoinis into Suryakumar again. Goes to launch this straight but gets an inside edge. Misses the stumps. Flies down to fine leg. But there's a fielder there, Mitchell Stark, and that'll just be a single. Yeah, that previous shot from Suryakumar, say it was an incredible shot. We've seen bigger. We've seen longer. But it was just that it looked so effortless and the ball travelled so far from just timing. Tube on strike. Bump ball. Straight back to the bowler. Stoinis threatens to shy at the stumps. Tube just stands his ground, gives him a little look. Stoinis gives him a look back. The crowd are cheering. And that's the end of the 14th over. .155 for 3 India. That run rate has just crept over 11 again, 11.07. It's Stark, he's going to come in to bowl his final over. Figures are 1 for 38 from 3. Won't be happy with that. Suryakumar will be on strike. He scored 27 from just 13 deliveries. Stark runs in. This one's cut. Goes between the fielders. Short third man and gully. We're on the board from the first ball of the over. On 59 for 3. Stark in again. Bit of a slower ball. That sentence again. A bit of a slower ball there. Just deceived the batsman. Through to the keeper Wade. A much needed dot ball for Australia. Suryakumar 31 from 15 balls faced. Runs in. That's wide, and Suryakumar's just stretched and manages to reach it, but he's got an edge. And it's gone to Wade. That'll be the end of his innings, 31 from 16. He'll be frustrated with that, Will Suryakumar, because if he'd have left it alone, the umpire's arms are coming out like an eagle. That's a wide. And he managed to get the bottom of the bat, but a top edge, and it just went to Wade for an easy catch. Suryakumar Yadav, 31 from 16, caught Wade, bowled Stark, 3 fours, 2 sixes, only 4 dot balls. So at the crease now, there's Doob, he's on 18 from 11. He's been getting them long levers going. New batsman in is going to be Hardik. And Still 3 balls left of this 15th over. With Stark now on 2 for 42. Hardik Pandya, he's got a best of 50 not out. Going to have to go some to beat that today. Stark runs in. Good line, good length, driven through point. That'll just be a single. Fielder couldn't stop it fully. Looked like Travis Head. Stark had a bit of a grumble to himself. God, I don't know why though. It was a good stop in the first place. India move on to 160 for 4. Hardik's on 1 from 1. It's now going to be Doob on strike. 2 balls left of this Stark over. Good ball. Full length delivery onto his pads. He just chops his bat down. Mid on. Will run in. Travis Head. Scramble a quick single there. 161 for 4. Swapping the strike around. And it's going to be Hardik to face the final ball of the 15th over. Stark in. Hardik pushes this through backward point. Just be a single to end the over. 162 for 4 India. 5 overs left. Run rate 10.8. 7 runs from that last over for Stark, so he finishes on 2 for 45 from his 4 overs. He'll like the 2, but he won't be happy with his economy rate. It's going to be Hazelwood back into the attack to bowl his final over. His figures are very different. 1 wicket, but his economy rate is just 10. Which is some feat considering that the Indian batsmen have been at it today. Right, I better close this bag of nuts down. Hazelwood runs in, Hardik on strike. Good line, good length, just chops his bat down onto that. Fielder at backward point. Throws back in quickly, and luckily, Doob sent Hardik back then. Ball. To start his final over. Hardik on strike still. Hazelwood runs in. This time he goes for a swing and a miss over the leg side. The ball just bounces over the stumps and goes through to Wade. 2 dot balls. To be honest, if it was me, I'd just look at getting some singles off Hazelwood because he's difficult to get away at the minute. Well, he has been in his previous 3 overs. I don't see why anything's going to change in this 4th over. Hardik on strike again. This time it's just bowled wide, outside off stump, full length delivery. Hardik just chops his bat down on it. That'll be a single. Just trickles to the offside. KP nuts are spicy. Watching a bit of montage of shots and wickets, and Hazelwood back to the live action. Doob on strike. Pulls that one into his hip, a little bit of bounce, turns the batsman front on. He just pushes it to the offside. They run a really quick single there. Not a scamper. Also not leisurely. One will be added to the total. $164 for India. That run rate's coming down to 10.47 now. 2 balls left of this 16th over. It's Hardik on strike. Hazelwood in. Bit of movement in the air there, in swing into the right-handed batsman, pitched up, clips that off his pads. That'll be a single. Fielder at forward square leg. Bends that into Wade. And one is added to the scoreboard. 165. With the final ball of Hazelwood's allotted 4. Lower delivery, kept a little bit low, just squirts it to backward point. This time they will scamper for a single, and the fielder doesn't let go of the ball. End of the 16th over, 166 for 4, India. Run rate 10.38 now. We've got Hardik on 4 from 6 deliveries. Doob is on 21 from 14. 4 overs left. It's going to be Zampa to come back into the attack. His previous 3 overs have gone for 36 runs, no wickets. So he'll be looking to improve on that. Mate Glenn will. He'll be hoping for a wicket here from Zampa. Doob on strike. Tries to club it over the leg side. Just get a single there as it trickles out to deep cover. Plenty of boundary runners out there now. Now she's up to the stumps. Zampa trying to get his fingers warmed up. He's into the Indian batsman. Tries to, oh my word. Hardik tried to sweep that, tried to cut that over a deep point. Came off the bottom of the bat, it just went high into the air. The fielder at point, I think it was Cummins, caught it, and then as he landed, just dropped it. Let's have a look again. So yeah, tried to cut that. It went pretty... No, it wasn't pretty... Doesn't see who that was. Either way, it went down. A let off there for India. Doobie goes high this time, trying to cut it. It lands just in front of the fielder at backward point, which is Stoinis. So he gets away with it. Hardik just got away with one. Doob just got away with one. Is this an omen that it's India's day? Maybe we will find out. Zampa into Doob. This time he slugged it over to the leg side. Doesn't time it. That'll just be a single. Just seeing a replay of the drop catch. It was Mitchell Marsh who dropped it. Bounced out of his hands, hit him in the nose, then went back towards his hands. Didn't take it. Hardik just clips this to the leg side. That'll be a single. 170 for 4, India move on to. One ball left of the 17th over. That run rate now is at 10.1. For his final delivery. Doob takes it on over the leg side, doesn't middle it. It drops just short of the fielder on the boundary. That'll be a single to end the over. 5 runs from it. 171 for 4. And I get a feeling this is going to be the time now where the Indian batsmen really let loose. They've not exactly been holding back up to now, but they were looking to get well over 200. They've got 4 overs. Well, they've got 3 overs left, won't they, to complete the job. Just completed the 17th over. They'll be wanting more than 10 and over from now to the end of the innings, that's for sure. Who's going to come into ball now? And Cummins. His current figures are 2 overs, 0 for 28. Going to be Doob on strike, left-handed batsman. Right-handed bowler, full length, full toss outside off stump. That's clattered towards the boundary. However, deep mid-wicket will get around and that'll just be a couple added to the total. Didn't time it perfectly. Just watching some poor fielding from Australia. This time it's a full toss from Cummins, clubbed back over his head but not timed, hit high on the bat. That will just be a single. And it's going to be Hardik on strike. He's currently gone on 6 after facing 8 deliveries. How does Cummins ball in this last 4 deliveries he's got coming? Does he pitch it up? Does he mix it up? Does he put a bouncer in there? We'll find out. And Hardik will be the first to know. Cummins runs in, pitches this up. This one's driven back past the ball. The fielder at long on though. He'll get round smartly. That'll just be a single. 175 for 4 now. That run rate is dead on 10. It's just slipping back from me. We're over 11 at one point. On 75 for 4. The crowd in St. Lucia have been treated for some terrific batting. Cummins runs in. Doob slog sweeps this from a standing position. Call it a slog pull, I suppose. Just be 1 from that delivery though. 176 India. Two balls left of the 18th over. 5 scored from it so far. Hardik on strike. Cummins runs in. Bounces outside off stump. He flat bats this. Flat bats it. Over deep cover. Splits the fielders. It's a comical shot, it looks like, but it's a typical T20 shot. Shapes as though you're gonna hook it, but then you just push the bat through the ball on the horizontal, and it flies over to the boundary on the offside. Cummins runs in, final ball of his third. This one's driven back through mid-off. Fielder at long off though, that'll just be a single. End of the 18th over. India 181 for 4. Dubes on 28 from 21, good effort. Hardik supporting him now on 12 from 11. 10 from that last over. Cummins' figures 0 for 38 from 3. Some smile on the Indian players' faces, Indian supporters' faces, neutrals' faces, my face. We'll want to be getting over 200 here, India will. We'll need 19 runs to get to 200. And they've got 12 deliveries to do it from. Very doable as long as they don't lose too many wickets. Stoinis runs into Hardik. Crashes this. Stoinis bowled this wide outside the off stump. The batsman went after it, put that much effort into it, he pirouetted after the shot. However, it found its way to the boundary at deep cover. Over the boundary for 6. Put his body and soul into that one, did the batsman. Tries it again, does Hardik. There's a fielder out there, maybe got a hand to it, but couldn't stop it going for 6. And long off, I think it was Mitchell Stark, couldn't stop that going for the boundary. Going over the boundary for 6. So this changes things now. 193 India move on to. So where we were, 79 metres it went, where we were looking, can they get to 200? They should do. Now it's nailed on, they're going to get over 200, and it's just a matter of by how much. Hardik looks to club this one over leg side there, takes one hand off the bat, hits it into his own pad, they'll just run through for a single. And Bidoob on strike now. He's 28 from 21 deliveries, 194 for 4 India. 3 balls left of this 19th over. Stoinis runs in. Goes onto the pads. Doob flicks this. He flicks this over deep extra cover. Just like chips it, and it's gone, unfortunately for him in India, into the fielder's hands. So Stoinis gets another wicket, 2 for 55 from 3 overs and 4 deliveries. He just timed it well enough, but it was not enough effort. It was like a chip. And Warner in the field didn't make a mistake with that one. Either way, it's been a good over so far for India, and Shivam Doob goes for 28 from 22 deliveries. 2 fours, 1 6, 7 dot balls. Good effort. Go at the crease now. We've got Hardik on 25 from 14. Good effort. We've got Jadeja is going to be the new batsman in. Just 6 needed for India to get up to 200. They're going to set the Aussies a good total here. They already have. But it's going to be... they're going to have to apply themselves, the Australian batsmen, that's for sure. Jadeja's got a best of just 7. But that'd be enough to take India over 200. 2 balls left in this Stoinis over. Left-handed Jadeja on strike. Gives himself plenty of room. He moves to leg side. Misses the ball. It runs through to Wade. That'll be a dot ball. 1 ball left of the over. Probably do India a favour if he either goes for a boundary or he just don't take a single. Keep Hardick on strike for the start of the final over. Stoinis runs in, Jadeja on strike. Full toss. Drives it through the covers. That'll be a single. 195 for 5 from 19 overs. Run rate 10.26. I'd have been tempted there not to take that single and let Hardick take the last over. Looking at the top of the scorecard there, Rohit, 92 from 41 deliveries. Surya Kumar scored 31 from 16. Doob, 28 from 22. The only one who didn't add to the total was Corley, out for a duck. He'll feel like he's missed out there, but he'll move on. Cummins is going to bowl the last over. Jadeja on strike. Pulls this to the leg side. That'll just be a single. 196 for 5. Pretty sure India are like another 12 off this last over at least. Five deliveries left. Going to be Hardick on strike. He's currently scored 25. He's only taken 14 deliveries to get there. Right-handed batsman. Right-handed bowler. Swing and a miss. Straight through to Wade. That's a dot ball. Run rate 10.14. Boundary fielders forward of the stumps. Hardick on strike. Cummins runs in. Bowls it straight. This time it's just driven to long on. That'll be a single. 197 for 5. So good couple of overs here now for Australia to keep this total as close to 200 as possible. 3 balls left. At one point it looked like 215 could have been on the cards. Jadeja on strike now. Cummins around the wicket. Clubs this over to the leg side, off his pads. I take that back. That sails over the boundary. Deep extra cover. 203 for 5. And there's me thinking Hardick should have stayed on strike. How wrong I was. What a beautiful shot from Jadeja. Flicked the wrist, timed it beautifully. Let the pace on the ball take it over the boundary. The fans go scattering as they try and make the catch. Outside off stump. Jadeja just pulls this to the leg side, doesn't time it. Stoinis in the field, keeps it down to 1. 1 ball left of this Indian innings. And it's going to be Hardik on strike. Pulls it short. Tries to pull it to the leg side. It goes high, but not timed. Just drops short of the fielder. That'll be a single off the last ball. 205 for 5. India finished that over. That innings from 20 overs. Run rate 10.25. Good effort. Good effort there from India. And let's be honest, the star of the innings, Rohit Sharma. He hit 92 from just 41 deliveries. Superb effort there from the Indians. Is it going to be enough to beat Australia? We'll find out. I'm going to pause this and go for a comfort break. So when we come back, it'll be at the start of the Australian innings. The OnePlus side, as I've said, of doing a recording as live. We'll be back in a second. Players are back out. The batsmen are at the crease. Going to be Travis Head to take strike. Target 206 to win for Australia. A play in effect. It's Warner on strike. Arshdeep runs in for his first ball. That's just pushed into the covers. That's a dot ball. Just having a word with the umpire there. Was it for running on the wicket? Was he close to a no ball? I'm not sure what was going on there. Either way, dot ball. Arshdeep in again. Warner on strike. Pushes this through the covers. It's a chase to the boundary. They'll stop it. All the Indian fielders. And that's 2 for none. Australia. Arshdeep runs in. Left-handed bowler, left-handed batsman. Warner just pushes this to point. That'll be a dot ball. Make or break for Australia, this. Glenville, if you're watching this, I hope your nerves are holding up okay, my friend. Maybe have a little glass of something. Arshdeep into Warner. Good line, good length. Just push through into cover, and that'll be another dot ball. Just feels like the calm before the storm this first over. Arshdeep into Warner. Pulls wide outside the off stump. Warner tries to flat bat it through the covers, gets a bottom edge. Deceives the wicket keeper. Can't stop that. And that'll race to the boundary for Fuller. Australia 6 for none. 1 ball left of the first over. Managed to get the tip of his finger on it there, did the keeper. But couldn't take enough pace off it. Ashdeep runs in. Final ball of his first over. 6 from it so far. This is ball. Good line, good length, outside off stump. Warner plays at it. Edges it to slip. And he's gone. 6 for 1. Last ball of the first over. Not what Australia needed. Not when you're chasing 206. Bit of a way swing. You saw the seam straight up there and the ball moving away from the batsman. Taken well in the slip. Probably about second slip, I would say that was. Ashdeep turns round, arms outstretched. Taking the adulation of the fans as he dismisses Warner. Caught Suryakumar. Australia 6 for 1. End of the first over. And it's going to be Bumrah to bowl the second over. Head still not faced the ball. He's on the donut. Marshu's come in. He's obviously still on the donut. Let's hope we don't be seeing the yellow duck coming out. It's going to be Bumrah to bowl with his little shuffling run up. Left-handed batsman Head. Bit of bounce there from Bumrah. Just pushes that to backward point, does Head. That'll be a dot ball. Need to keep up with this run rate, Australia, especially why they've got the power play in effect. Bumrah into Head. Pulls onto his pads, clips this one down to fine leg. That'll just be a single. Not sure if there was any bat involved there. We'll find out in a second. Are you, Frankie James? There's definitely somebody there. Unless there's somebody from the spirit world moving something around. It was a leg bye. So both batsmen still on the donut. Bumrah runs in, Marsh on strike. Just plays this inside 2 out. Goes to point, dot ball. India going with the third man under fine leg. Bumrah into Marsh. That got high on him. He's tried to just club that. He tried to club that to the leg side. It just went up in the air. And I don't know why the keeper's not sprinted to pick that up. It's a dot ball. There's something gone amiss there. It just went up in the air. The keeper went to run, then he stumbled, and it's hit. He just padded it back towards the wicket with his gloves. Bumrah into Marsh again. Just tickles that down to third man for a single. That previous delivery where the wicketkeeper just tried knocking the ball back towards the stumps with his hand, almost like he was frustrated that he'd stumbled and didn't get the catch. He would have actually picked that up. He could have had a shy at the stumps because Marsh was well out of his crease. Poor from the wicket keeper. Thrice poor. Bumrah runs in, final ball, head on strike. Something doesn't miss on his run up, so that'll be a dead ball. I think he just caught his boot on something. Bumrah starts his run up again for his final delivery, head on strike, left-handed batsman. Just outside off stump, tries driving this through mid-off, but doesn't time it. That'll be a dot ball. End of the second over. A little bit of slackness there and some frustration at the wicket keeper. Rohit didn't hold back, letting know in no uncertain terms that he wasn't happy with the effort of just trying to lick the ball with his hand back towards the stumps. He should have took his glove off, picked up and had a shy at the stumps. The batsman was well out of his crease. That's the kind of thing that can come back to haunt a team. So it's going to be Arshdeep to bowl his second over. It's going to be Marsh on strike. Start the third over. Little step down the wicket. Still swinging it there is Arshdeep. Marsh clips that to mid-wicket, straight to the fielder. That'll be a dot ball. Definitely a chance of an LBW here for Arshdeep with this movement in the air. Probably just needs to start it at full length, just on off stump. Let the swing do the work. If the batsman misses that, LBW comes into play. Arshdeep into Marsh. This time, swing and a miss. Tries to hoik it over deep mid-wicket. No contact with the ball though. Straight through to the keeper. Took that well actually because it bounced just before him. Deep runs in, third ball of his over. Marsh still on strike. This time he clubs it over deep mid-wicket. It'll go to the boundary, but didn't time it, didn't get it anywhere near the middle. It was just brute force that got it over the infield and to the boundary. He won't care a drop though. 4 goes on the total, 12 for 1. Head's still on the donut. He's not. He's only faced 3 deliveries. Push deep in. Oh, that word. Marsh started striding down the wicket before the ball was released. He drove it straight back at Arshdeep. Puts the catch down, but in fairness, it was as much taking avoiding action as it was trying to catch that. He put his hands up. Let's have a look again. In front of his face, was it? Yeah, in front of his face. And he ends up pushing it back towards the batsman. Got almost 2 hands to it there, but I mean, to call that a drop catch, it is a drop catch, but it's harsh. Arshdeep into Marsh. Slower ball. Push through the covers this time. That'll race away to the boundary. Still didn't time that perfectly, but no fielder at deep extra cover. And to the boundary it goes. Australia move on to 16 for 1. Ignore this scoreboard. I don't know where it's getting its figures from. This time, last ball of the over. Marsh hooks this one. Well, he doesn't hook it actually. He kind of drives it over leg side. It's gone. I don't know where the ball's gone. I know it's gone for 6, but everybody lost it. It went so high, so far. Rohit's smiling to himself. I'm not surprised. It was like a pull, come, hook. Went out of the stadium, I think. Deep backward square leg. Nobody knew where the ball had gone. 22 for 1. That's 3 overs completed. Yep, a new bag of balls has come out. They'll be looking for one. Ashdeep's looking for the ball. Axar's saying, I couldn't see that. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. He would needed to be about 40 foot tall to even get a hand. Then he'd have needed to jump for it. That went clean out the stadium. And while all this is going on, Australia 22 for 1. Marsh is on 15 from 9. Travis Head, he's still on naught. He's still only faced 3 deliveries. Start of the 4th over. It's a funny old game. Bumrah's going to come in for his 2nd over. First one went for 1 run. Eventually, Head is on strike. This one, he just puts it hard. Backward point. Nowhere near it. To the boundary. He's had all that frustration of watching the action, I think. He just cut Bumrah there with a slashing bat. Over the infield. 1 bounce, 2 bounce over the boundary. 4 runs. 26 for 1. Australia move on to target 206. Bumrah into Head. This time he pulls it onto the leg side. No one at forward square leg to stop that bad boy. It races to the boundary. Head all of a sudden's gone from a donut to 8 from 5 deliveries. Bumrah's gone for 2 fours from 2 balls of his 2nd over. Head on strike. Bumrah runs in. This one takes a slight movement to the leg side. Head. Bumrah pitches it up outside off. Head tries to get some bat on it, but it goes straight through to the wicket keeper. And that'll be a dot ball. Australia kind of keeping up with the run rate at the minute. Bumrah runs in. Head on strike. Full toss outside off stump. Clatters that to backward point. 4 more added to the total. Didn't miss that opportunity. His eyes lit up. We just had a close-up. His eyes opened wide as that delivery came in. Australia move on to 34 for 1. Unless they get the job done here, there is no tomorrow in the 2024 World Cup. Bumrah comes in, head on strike. This time he just pushes that one into the covers. That'll be a quick single. Good delivery from Bumrah. Saw head just edging towards the leg side. Followed him a little bit. Couldn't stop the single though. Australia, 35 for one ball left of the fourth over. Then they'll still have 2 overs left of the power play. Will they make hay while the sun shines, as the saying goes? We'll find out. Mitch Marsh on strike now. Bumrah into him. Pitches it up on the stumps. Marsh just pushes that to mid-on for a leisurely single. End of the fourth over. Australia 36 for 1. Yeah, I can honestly say, hand on heart, although we can't live stream at the minute, we've made some good friends through the cricket, but I will definitely miss this tournament once it ends. It has been a carnival for sure. Some beautiful scenery, some differing stadiums, some differing grounds, some differing wickets, definitely. I mean, the wicket in New York, that was difficult to score on, wasn't it? I think the highest total that I can remember was 137. Some indifferent bounce on it. No pace in it. Axar's coming into the attack. Bowls to Marsh. Sweeps this. Finds short fine leg. That'll be a dot ball. And Axar's bowling. Still with his orange sunglasses on. Marsh this time. Sweeps to the leg side again. Square leg fields that well. Good stop because it went at some pace. 2 dot balls. I think the fielder felt that in his fingers maybe. He won't be bothered though. Saved 4 runs there. Axar in. Marsh goes over the top this time. Effortless shot there. As soon as that ball dropped short from Axar, Marsh was waiting for that. And he just clubbed that over the boundary. Didn't go overly high. And it only just made it there, but enough timing on the shot to add 6 onto the score. Axar again. Good ball. Good line, good length. Marsh can just put his bat next to his pad and keep it out for a dot ball. Ooh, my word. Slog sweep this time to the leg side. Fielder at square leg again. Oh, got his hand to it. Couldn't stop it though. And it goes to the boundary for 4. Ooh, diving attempt to his left one-handed. I think he maybe just got a fingertip to it. 46 for 1, Australia move on to Marsh on strike. Final ball of the over. That's just clipped to the leg side. They'll go for 2 here, taking the fielder on. In fact, the fielder didn't rush there to get the ball in. Just happy to let them have the 2. 5 overs gone, 48 for 1. Target 206. We've got Marsh on 28 from 16. And Travis Head on 13 from 8 deliveries. Australia currently thereabouts with the run rate. Just a little bit behind. But 1 over left in the power play, so they'll be looking to make hay in this Hardick over, who's coming into the attack for his first over. There's a fair breeze around, so hopefully that'll keep any inclement weather away. Hardick into Head. pulls a slower bouncer. Head lets that one go. Umpire says that's a little bit too high for my liking. I'm going to flap like an eagle, in the words of Eddie, and that'll be one added to the total, and you can bowl that one again, young man. We had Eddie the Eagle and Brian Clough in one sentence. How do you like that? Hardick into head, outside off stump, tries to flat bat it through the cover, gets a bottom edge, not near the stump zone, it'll go through to the keeper, dot ball. Current run rate's 9.48, required run rate's 10.58, so like I said, they're thereabouts at the minute. It's going to be head on strike, Hardick to run in. Left-handed batsman, right-handed bowler. This one bowled straight onto the stumps. And Travis Head just drives that straight back over Hardick's head. Timed it beautifully and off the middle. You know where it ended up, and you know how many runs Australia will get from that. It went some distance, 90 metres. 6 added to the total. 55 for 1. Head on strike, Hardick runs in. Has to pull this one through the leg side. Just goes to deep mid-wicket, that'll be a single. He's messaging me. We'll have to wait. The cricket's more important. I'm not that important of a person that I need to answer anything quickly, which is not bad in my eyes. It'll be Mitch Marsh on strike now. Hardick runs in, then veers off to the left-hand side there, and that'll be a dead ball. I'm not sure what happened. Smiles all round. Richard Kettleborough, the umpire, and Richard Illingworth, the other umpire. 2 dicks in the middle. Both have a smile on their face. Hardick will start his run up again. Mitch Marsh waits. Little stride down the wicket, pre-delivery, just clips it on the leg side. They will get a couple there. Takes the total 58 for 1. Facing a target of wrong side. 206. Just put the little graphic down there for myself as much as anything, because I keep forgetting what the target is. 2 balls left in this 6th over. Last one of the power play. Going to be Mitch Marsh on strike. Hardick runs in. Flips this one through the leg side. Must be a single. Marsh moves on to 31 from 18 deliveries. It'll be head on strike for the final ball of the power play. And the final ball of Hardick's first over. Rates now creeping up towards the required, so 10.11 current, 10.38 required. Hardick, final ball of his over. Travis Head just clubs this over deep mid-wicket into the crowd and put down by I'm trying to see if there was one spectator or two went for it. Either way, they need to brush up on the catching. Great end to the over though now, and just what the Australians needed. They'll now be just creeping up to the required run rate. 65 for 1. Target 206. Target 206 and needed to stay in the competition. Hopefully there's no rain coming in from the ocean. There's a breeze about, quite a strong breeze. It's going to be Marsh on strike. It's going to be Kuldeep coming into the attack to bowl his first over. Kuldeep, he had a bit of spin. Sweeps this one, first ball up. Short fine leg fields that, keeps it to a dot ball. Heads on 26 from 12. Marsh, who's on strike, he's on 31 from 19. Deep into ball, wide outside the off stump. Marsh does well to reach it, actually. And flat bats through the long off. Get a couple there. Just had to rush at the end, Marsh, as the fielder put a good throw into the wicket keeper. How long before Marsh goes over the top? Tried the sweep to the leg side. He can't find the ball. And it's at his feet. Rohit finds the funny side of that one. Either way, it's a dot ball. Little bit more tricky now, though, for the batsman, now that the power play's over. That ball that Kuldeep bowled, it bounced off Marsh's pad, hit him in the grill. He couldn't find the ball, and it was at his feet. The umpire takes the ball in his hand, Richard Illingworth. I think it's protocol now that when it hits the visor, they've got to come out and check it. Maybe I'm wrong on that one, but I didn't hit it that hard. But straight away, the trainer came on with a bag. Trying to stop myself now, having another go at them chili nuts. We've got a game on our hands, that's for sure. Almost identical progression. Australia and India in their innings. This one's bowled wide outside the off stump from Kuldeep. Flat batted through the covers. That'll be a single. 68 for 1, 2 balls left of the 7th. It'll be Travis Head on strike. 26 runs from 12 deliveries, Travis Head. Pushes that through the covers, but I think that was Arshdeep Singh with a diving stop. Oh no, it was Jadeja, sorry. Keeps that to a dot ball. Final ball of the over. Head rocks back into his crease, pushes that through. Deep extra cover. That's the end of the over. Australia move on to 69 for 1. 7 overs completed. We've got Head on 27 from 14. Marsh on 34 from 22. Current run rate now has just dropped a little bit again, 9.86. Required run rate, 10.54. Definitely a strong breeze blowing around the ground. Two youngsters there having a great time, good to see. Going to be Hardick to bowl his second over. His first one went for 17. He'll be hoping for a better economy rate this time. It's going to be head on strike. Left-handed batsman waits. Pushes this through the covers. Times it okay, but just be they may come back for a second. They do. Two added. The total 71 for one. Umpire just telling him you're close to a no ball. I'm assuming that's what he was saying because he was just going. Head on strike, Hardick runs in. This one's driven back over the bowler's head from outside off stump. Two straight there, nobody's going to stop that. Ower runs to head. Australia up to 75 for one. Head moves on to 33 now from 16. Got it off the bottom of the bat as well. Timed it well enough though. Little fist pump in the middle by the Australian batsman. Head on strike. Hardick runs in again. Clubs this over the leg side. Duck if you're in the crowd because that's where it's headed. Wow. Deep extra cover. You're in the firing line. 81 for one now, Australia. Head moves on to 39 from 17 deliveries. He overtakes Marsh, who was in the lead by some way at one point. Job his head, I think he only faced 3 balls in about the first 3 and a bit overs. He just, the action always seemed to be at the other end from where he was, but he's making up for it now. It runs in again. Head this time slashes at it. It's gone high in the air. Fielder extra cover runs back. Can't get there and it'll be a single added to the total. Didn't time that. Just got a big top edge. Well, he moves on to 40. Lives to face another delivery. It'll be Mitch Marsh on strike. He scored 34 from 22 balls faced. 2 balls left in this Hardick over. He's gone for 13 so far. He's took a bit of a pasting too, 30 from 10 deliveries. I think Mitch Marsh has got no intentions of helping him out with any dot balls, so we'll see what Hardick can do for himself here. Needs a good delivery. Marsh walks down the wicket. He pitches it short, and Marsh had to duck there. Nothing wrong with that delivery, says the umpire. That's your one for the over. Yeah, good delivery. Went down the leg side, but I mean the batsman had to duck, and I say all's fair in love and war. And that was definitely war. Hardick taking it to Marsh. The bowler coming out on top on that occasion. He runs in for the final ball of this over. This one's pulled The deep mid wicket, that would just be a single. Didn't time it. 83 for 1 after 8. Marsh moves on to 35. 14 runs from the last over. People are definitely getting blown about with this breeze. It's a little bit more than a breeze, actually. There's youngsters trying to lean into it, trying to let it hold them up as you do. Important game coming after this one as well, isn't there? Afghanistan and Bangladesh. As things stand, I think if Australia don't win this, they're going to be relying on Bangladesh doing them a favour. Out of the 9th over, Kuldeep with a good ball, stump to stump. That's just pushed back past him. And there's no fielder at mid-on, so that'll just be 1 added to the total. Chases his own delivery there, does the bowler, and does a good job. Kuldeep into Travis Head. Pushes this through point. That'll just be a single. Can't afford too many of these balls, Australia. Kuldeep into Marsh. Tries a slug sweep. Can't make contact. Into the keeper's gloves. The bails come off. Pretty sure his feet were in though there. No chance for stumping in my eyes. Dot ball. You're just going to have a look at it. So we'll go with it. Review. But I'm almost 100% that Mitch Marsh had his foot planted well and truly behind the line. Dragged it forward there. Kept it down. Yeah. Well done by the batsman. Good bit of wicket keeping, but you could tell by the batsman's face he wasn't worried at all. Might be worried that it was a dot ball, but that's all he was worried about. Kuldeep into Marsh, wide outside off stump. It ends up being pulled to deep mid wicket. Just a single though. Good effort here from the bowler. Just 3 runs from his 2nd over. Australia on 86 for 1. 3 balls left of the 9th over. Travis Head on strike. Cuts this one. That'll just be a single. Deep extra cover. Fields that one. Gets the ball in nice and leisurely. Just 4 from this over. Marsh on strike. Currently on 37. Deep in. Stump to stump. This one he goes big. Oh my word. If that's one of the best catches you'll see this tournament. Axar at forward square leg. This was absolutely middled by Mitch Marsh to the leg side. It was going for 6 at a low trajectory like an Exocet missile. And Axar has just put his hands up. I would have said if he could have stopped it, it would have been a miracle. He's actually held on to it. This was creamed by Marsh. And he's just put his hands up and took it. It was that high, you have to take it with one hand, and he kept hold of it. Not only has he saved 6, he's took the vital wicket of Mitch Marsh. Superb fielding. Axar, bold Kuldeep. Marsh goes for 37 from 28 deliveries. You'll struggle to see a better catch than that all tournament. And there's been some good catches. And I have no doubt there'll be some more fantastic catches, but that will be up amongst the best. Wowzer. 87 for 2 now, Australia. End of the 9th over. Good effort from Marsh. But literally swept that off the middle of the bat and that low trajectory. So it's going to be the character that is Maxwell, excuse me, coming to the crease. It's going to be Travis Head on strike though on 42 because that was the final ball of the 9th over. Glenville Balandra is one of the guys from the chat. Australian supporter. He'll have been as shocked as I was when that ball stuck in the fielder's hand. Hardick runs into Head, crashes that through point, times it lovely, straight to the boundary for 4. Australia move on to 91 for 2. Target 206. Current run rate 9.93, required is 10.62. Not a disaster at the minute for Australia. Hardick runs into Head, pitches this one up outside off stump, driven through the covers. Fantastic fielding by Rohit. Diving stop. That'll be a dot ball. That's as good as saving a 4 that, because that's where that ball was heading. What a catch that. We've just seen Aksar again. Gets better every time you see it. Hardick into Head. Pulls out of the attempted pull shot over the leg side, and that goes through to the keeper. Dot ball. No bat involved. And Mitch Marsh, as he watched that, he must have been convinced that that was going to the boundary. It was the equivalent of Banks' save against Pelly. Slightly different dynamics, but equally as good. Head on strike. Hardick runs in. Slower ball. Pitched up on leg stump. Driven to long. Oh, my word. Driven to long on where the fielder is stood. Goes to take it to throw it in. Misfields and it goes to the boundary. For 4. Hardick's not going to be happy there. Was there a bit of an iffy bounce before it got to the... no, not really. Not really, just a poor bit of fielding. It happens. But Hardick won't be happy there. 95 for 2 Australia. Travis Head on to 50 from 24 deliveries. Excellent effort. What's this? The third man. Short third man, can't get anything on it. That's 4 to the total. 99 for 2 Australia, and Head moves on to 54. Frustration here from Hardick now. He's not happy. Not happy at all. I just keep hearing the sound in my head. Can you hear Glenville sing? Ooh, maybe soon. Hardick into Head. Swing and a miss, straight through to the keeper. End of the 10th over. We'll have a little comfort break. We'll be back in a second. Right, we're back, just in time. That's what you call speed peeing. Felt like it went on for ages. When you're trying to rush to get back, it always seemed like that stream will never stop. We made it. Not that you needed to know that, but it's just in case I'm a little bit red. Right, Jadeja's come into the attack. His first ball gets cut by Maxwell. You won't be happy with that. Short third man couldn't get a hand on it. And that's 100 up for Australia. 103 for 2. Chasing 206. Jadeja, second delivery. Reverse sweep from Maxwell over the two fielders that are waiting. I'm pretty sure that's gone for 6. And short third man, and almost like a gully. Couldn't stop that. Reverse sweep went over both the heads and raced over the boundary just into a little puddle of water. Maxwell just pushes this one to mid-wicket. Jadeja fields that himself. That'll be a single. 110 for 2 Australia. Maxwell's on to 11 from 3. He's not going to try and beat Rohit to 50, is he? He's that kind of character. Head. What's this? Through to backward, deep backward point. It'll just be a single. Australia move on to 111 for 2. 12 from this over so far. Maxwell on strike. 2 deliveries left. Reverse sweep, premeditated. Same shot as his previous 6. This time he doesn't catch it quite as well, but it bounces once and goes over the boundary. 2 fielders at short third man and sort of backward point gully. Just watch it go over the head. They're not in the game. Goes over the head. You might think about putting a fielder out there, India. 115 for 2. 16 off the over so far. Final delivery. Maxwell looks to slog sweep that big over the leg side. It all goes wrong and it goes to backward point for a single. It might be a leg bye, but either way, one will be added to the total. 116 for 2 at the end of the 11th over. Was given as bat, maybe glove. 17 runs from it. Maxwell's raced to 16 from 5 deliveries. And he's going to be on strike at the start of the 12th over, which will be bowled by, we will tell you as soon as the graphic comes up. Who's going to bowl it? Is it going to be Kuldeep? Is it going to be Aksar? Only 2 extras so far. Good effort by India. Going to be Kuldeep. It's going to be Kuldeep. He's got a slip in place. This one's swept to deep backward square leg. It'll just be a single. 117 for 2. Maxwell moves on to 17. Head moves on to strike. He's currently 55 from 27 deliveries. Top effort from Travis Head. The weather in St. Lucia is behaving at the minute, and it looks like we should be okay. Kuldeep into Head. Just pushes this one back past the bowler. Misses Maxwell, his teammate, and that'll be a single. As Long On comes round to field that. Deep. Stump to stump. Maxwell tries to club it over leg side. No bat involved. Hits his pad. That'll be a dot ball. And he very kindly passes the ball to the keeper via his bat. Deep. Reverse sweep here. There's a fielder out there though. That'll be just a single. Almost got his feet tangled up there, did Maxwell, but managed to keep his balance enough to get the ball away. One added to the total, 119 for 2, 87 needed from 50 deliveries. Deep into head. Just watches this onto his bat, pushes it to mid-off. That's a dot ball, and it's a good ball from Kuldeep. One of them deliveries you don't want to be messing about with. A little bit of overspin there. Read by head. Dot ball. Final ball of the 12th over. This time head crashes that. Oh my word. Oh my word. Long off. Had his arms up in the air, had it. But it sailed over his head, and I think he was doing that for effect as much as anything, as though to say, it's going over my head. At first I thought he had his arms up waiting to take the catch. But no, it was too high. And that'll be 6 added to the total. 125 for 2. Head moves on to 62. Maxwell on strike at the start of the 13th over. Yeah, as that ball was going, Hardick put his arms up in the air, and I thought the ball was going into his hands, but he was playing to the crowd, I think, there. He fooled me. And the ball sailed over the ropes. 6 added to the total. XR's going to come into the attack again. His first over went for 12, no wickets. Stretch me back out. The first time now, Australia are in front on the run rate. Current's 10.42, required's 10.13. They're going to try and stop the reverse sweep here from Maxwell. This time he cuts it. Short third man in the perfect position. It'll be a dot ball. Was played all along the ground there to the fielder. Maxwell on strike. Slug sweep over leg side. Fielder at deep square. Just be a single. Maxwell moves on to 19. Australia 126 for 2. 80 runs required from 46 deliveries. Head on strike. Left-handed batsman. Cuts this to backward point. Finds the fielder, the Arshdeep Singh, and that'll be a dot ball. Alright, somebody's... This one's cut again. Little bit squarer though this time, so we'll get a single there. Good over this from Axar. Kept it down to just 2 at the moment. Still 2 deliveries to go though, and Maxwell on strike. You can spoil your figures in the blink of an eye. This one's pulled over to the leg side, deep mid-wicket or field. Just be a single. Put a lot of effort into that, did Maxwell, but didn't time it. Didn't middle it, that's for sure. Looked like a bottom edge. Looked like one of them that had hurt your hands. Final ball, Travis Head. Flat bats it through the cover, straight to the fielder, dot ball. Just 3 from that over. Just what Axar needed. 0 for 15 from 2 overs. Good effort there. Australia 128 for 2. 78 runs required from 42 balls. Going to be Maxwell on strike. He's scored 20. His partner at the other end, Head, he's on 63. It's going to be Kuldeep to bowl out his 4th and final over. From his previous 3, he's got 1 wicket for 17 runs. So a superb economy rate there. Kuldeep into Maxwell. Maxwell walks down the wicket, takes 2 strides before the ball has even let go of the ball. Big swing over the leg side, misses the ball. You know what's coming. Somebody's picking the bails up. Missed the ball completely. He didn't just take 1 stride down, he took 2 strides down. A lot of overspin on that. As soon as he missed that delivery, he was either going to be bowled or he was going to be stumped. Took the gamble, did Glenn Maxwell, and it didn't pay off. He's gone for 20 from 12 deliveries. 2 fours, 1 6. Good effort, but to be honest, a bit of a crazy way to get out. Didn't need to do that at this stage. It would have been the kind of ball where he could have swept it to leg side. Like I said, though, sitting in an armchair, giving an opinion is easy, isn't it? It's not as easy for the man out in the middle. Stoinis is coming into bat now. Head still there, 63 from 33, top effort. Class batsman. Stoinis has got a best of 67 not out. If he gets that today, that will see Australia over the line for sure. The question is, will he? Not if Kuldeep's got anything to do about it. That's just respectful there from Stoinis. Forward defensive, just pushes it back to the bowler. Deep into Stoinis. This one outside off stump, pulled it to long gone. That'll just be... That'll just be a single. Just trying to intimidate the bowlers there a little bit, Stoinis. Just with his body language. When the ball came in, he looked as though he was going to go for an overthrow, even though he knew the bowler had the ball in his hands, and then looked at the bowler, and Kuldeep just laughed at him. Head on strike. This one's pulled onto the leg side, splits the fielders. That'll go for 4. Deep extra cover and deep cover. That ball split them perfectly. 1 bounce over the ropes. 67 Head moves on to. Australia 133 from 3. They need 73 from 38 balls. It's Kuldeep into Head. Rocks back on his crease. Cuts this one through the offside. That'll just be a single. Fielder at deep extra cover. India not defending the boundary behind leg side or point here. Apart from you've got sort of a short fine leg. That's just clipped off his pads there nonchalantly. Deep mid-wicket, who just walk to the ball. That's the end of the over. Australia move on. 135 for 3. Heads there going well. Stoinis is in looking, let's say, confident. Always has that air of arrogance and superiority that you'd like to see if he was batting for you. Do like that about him. So coming into ball, it's going to be Kuldeep. That run rate's dropped now to 9.64 with the current one. Required has gone up to 11.83. Not a worry just yet. Like that. Into Stoinis. Reverse sweep. Finds the fielder at point. And that little bit of arrogance, little bit of confidence is misplaced. Because Stoinis has gone for 2 from 4 deliveries. Played the reverse sweep there. And just found the fielder, didn't get enough on it. Excuse me. And the fielder had it. Just takes the catch. Looks at Stoinis with a big cheeky grin on his face. Gives his arm a bit of a slow windmill and throws the ball up and says, "On your way, my son. It's not your day." He didn't say that, but I bet he was thinking it. I know I would have been. For sure. Stoinis is definitely a Marmite character, a bit like Maxwell. You'll either like them or you won't. Personally, I love them. I think they're great. I think they're great for the game. But if you're the opposition, it get under your skin a little bit. So it's going to be head still in the middle. 68 from 35. It's going to be Tim David coming in. Got the dreaded donut against his run scored, but he hasn't faced the ball yet. So we'll let him off. He's got a best of 24. Sarin drives this one through to cover. That'll be a dot ball. That required run rate will start creeping up. Waits for this one to come onto the bat, does David. Outside off stump, tries to cut it, but got on him a little bit quick at the end. No bat involved. Straight to the keeper's gloves. A half-hearted appeal for a caught behind. This one is just driven. Long off will keep that down to a single. This is where we missed the chat. I want to know what Genwill's thoughts are. This one's flat batted through the covers, dive from the fielder, can't stop it, and that'll be 4 added to the total. .72. Head moves on to from 36. Axar into head. This one's flat batted to long off. That'll be a single. The end of the 15th over. 141 for 4 Australia. Arshdeep's going to come back into the attack. From his previous 2 overs, he's got 1 for 20. So he'll be happy with the wicket, but he'll want to improve that economy rate. Although he did bowl those overs when the power play was in effect, so got to take that into account. Current run rate's 9.4, required's up to 13. Need a big over at some point, do Australia. Arshdeep runs in, head on strike. Crashes that through the covers. Raw hit, diving stop. Smirk on his face. Thought they might try and take a quick single there, but no, dot ball. 65 runs needed, 29 deliveries to come. Head on strike. Arshdeep runs in. Full toss. Misses it, does head. He misses out on the opportunity there. It goes between bat and pad. Misses leg stump. However, the keeper can't get a hand to that and it'll run away for 4. Although it'll get close to the leg stump there as well. But close is not good enough. That'll be 4 onto the total. Australia move on to 145. Arshdeep into head. Full toss again. This one's clubbed long on. Just be a single there. There's a fly buzzing around me. It's doing my head in. Like having Henry Russell in the room. Going to be David on strike. He's currently got 1 from 3 deliveries. Arshdeep's going to be running in. Right-handed batsman. Falls onto his pads. Pushes it to mid-off. With that sort of inside-out shot. It's a dot ball though. Into David. Bowls this one a little bit shorter. David spins and pulls it to the leg side. Doesn't time it though. That'll just be a single added onto the board. 147 for 4. 1 ball left of the 16th over. They need a big over now, Australia. They need 59 from 25 balls. There's the strong breeze is causing the players a little bit of problem with the head where the caps are blowing off. Actually, he runs in, then he stops midway into his run-up. Not sure what the issue was there. Maybe it was the breeze. It's certainly strong enough. Looking at the flags. Try again. Arshdeep runs in. Head on strike. Full length delivery. Just pushes that to deep mid wicket. That'll be a single. Last ball of the over. 148 for 4. 16 overs gone and it'll be head on strike at the start of the 17th. I think this is the over where Australia try and go big now. there's no downside to doing so. Otherwise, you're just going to run to the end of the innings and be about 11, 12 runs short of getting the total of 206. And then you're pretty much going home. Looks like there could be some rain out to sea there. Hopefully it's not coming over the ground. It's going to be Bumrah into the attack. Head on strike. Step to leg side. Bumrah follows him, so head pulls this over to deep mid wicket. That'll just be a single. Singles aren't enough now for Australia. They need boundaries. They need big boundaries, and they need a few of them. And when I say a few, I'm not talking 3 or 4. David on strike. Bumrah runs in, walks down the wicket before the ball's released, clips that off his pads. Deep mid wicket. Fields that, sends it in. Just the 1 run. Not good enough. Australia up to 150 for 4. Normally you would say good effort. However, not when you're chasing 206. And you've got less than 4 complete overs left. 56 required from 22 balls. We've got a deep square leg, deep mid-wicket, long on, long off, deep point. Bumrah into head. Takes a big stride to the leg side. And he's gone. He's gone. Caught at mid-off. Took a big stride to the leg side there, did head. And when the ball came in straighter, he had to stretch for it. Couldn't get any power on it. The ball just went up in the air. And mid-off waited for it. Simple catch. That could be curtains for Australia, I'm afraid. Good effort from Travis Head. And ironically, it's Rohit that takes the catch. He goes for 76 from 43 deliveries, bowled Bumrah. 9 fours, 4 sixes. It's going to be weird to come in. I mean, 56 required. 21 balls remaining. You've got David there on 3. He's already faced 6 deliveries. You've got Wade on the donut. Yet to face a ball. I mean, David's a big guy, isn't he? If he starts launching it about, it can go, but it's whether he can get the time in. India are not bowling shabbily, are they? Not shabbily as in what you drink, I mean shabbily as in poor. Wade's only got a best of 17 not out so far. Bumrah into him. Drives this to backward point, takes the fielder on. A misfield, so that'll be a Wade off the mark. He'll get a single there. Australia move on to 151 for 5. Bumrah into David. 1 step down the wicket, swing and a miss. Straight through to the keeper. Dot ball. 55 required from 19 now. In fairness, he was nowhere near to getting an edge on that one, David. I saw him coming, just dropped it a little bit shorter. Too good for the batsman. Final ball of the over. David clips this to deep mid-wicket. They're going to go for 2, are they? Yeah, they are. Take the fielder on. Throw comes neither bowler's end or wicket-keeper's end. End of the 17th. 153 for 5. 53 needed from 18 deliveries. Two and over's no good. They need to gamble now, Australia. They need to gamble big, and it's going to be Ash deep into the attack. He's been getting a little bit of movement in the air, but if you can read that movement, there's enough pace from his delivery that if you middle it, it can go a long way. There's obviously a risk involved with the shot because he's bowling quite well. But if Australia are going to go out, they want to go out with a roar and not a whimper. That's not the Australian style, is it? Ash deep waits. He runs in. Wade on strike. Tries to cut that, gets a top edge. It goes to the fielder at short third man. Ashdeep gets his man. And as much as the wicket is an issue, it's another dot ball. I think they're just going to wait to see if it carried, but the fielder looks pretty confident and Wade looks pretty despondent. I think he knows. He's already loosening his gloves. I think the writing's on the wall here. Michael Goff, the third umpire. Ooh, that's closer than I thought. It kind of went lower to the grass once he caught it, but I'm sure his fingers were under it, and I'm going with out. We might have a look at that again. For me, his fingers are under it, and that's out. This will be the best view. It's in his hands about 6 inches up. He's got his fingers underneath it, both hands. I'm going with out. Fielder was pretty confident. There we go. Wade's got to go. Wade's got to go. He's got 1 from 2. Can't blame him trying to score. He's got to do it. But good catch. Short third man. You know, when you get a target of 206, if you are gonna win, it's a hell of a total when you think about it, because it means you've got a 40 over match that's gone for an average of over 10 and over. That takes some doing, that, doesn't it? That takes some doing. I know they're good bowlers, and I understand you've got 12 overs of that is a power play. But even so, it's a hell of a job on for the batsman. So it's going to be Pat Cummins to come in. He's got a best of 28. However, he's got 17 balls remaining. 53 runs required. Ashdeep comes in, second ball of his over. Tries to club this one over leg. It goes straight. There's a fielder running in from long on. Bounces just in front of him. Can't take the catch, but importantly, it's just 1 run added to the total from the delivery. It's going to be David on strike. Big guy. Can he use his size to get the ball over the boundary? He's only scored 5 up to now. Dash deep into David. That's not what's needed though. That'll be a wide. Not only was it high, it was down the leg side. So that'll help, but not much. 51 needed from 16 deliveries. David scored 5 from 8 up to now. David brushes this one back past the ball. I didn't time it perfectly, but he's got enough on it. That'll be 4. Diving attempt by the fielder. Got something on it, but not enough to stop it going to the boundary. David moves on to 9 from 9. $159 for 6 Australia. 47 required from 15 balls. That's gone down the leg side there. That'll be another wide. 1 added to the total. Look of disappointment from the keeper there. Is he trying to say there was a bit of pad involved, or? $160 for 6. Midway, Sarsteep runs in. Full toss outside off stump. It's clubbed back over the bowler's head, but I don't know how much he's got on it. Virat's underneath it. However, he's waiting to catch it, and he's stood over the boundary ropes, and even then he can't catch it. He used his size there for sure, did the big guy. Full toss outside off stump. Crashed back over the bowler's head. That helps. And call it. He had to go over the boundary ropes to try and get the catch. But it still went over his head. 40 required from 14 deliveries. I'm going to call it. I can't see how Australia do this. I just can't. Deep in again, David on strike. Full toss this time. Tries to crash it through the leg side, gets an edge, and it goes to short third man for a catch. He's gone. Short third man had moved up a little bit as well there. Seventh wicket. Back in the sheds, 166 scored. And this is curtains, it looks like. Deep, big smile on his face. That's just what you need after you've been clubbed for 6 back over your head. Take the wicket of the man who inflicted the damage on your figures. Caught Bumrah, bowled Arshdeep. 15 runs from 11. David makes his way back. Coming out to the middle now. Mitchell Stark. 40 needed from 13 balls. This is going to be some innings now if Australia are going to do this. Very little margin for error and a boundary almost needed from every delivery. Let's be honest. got a best of 14. It's not looking good, is it? Arshdeep runs in, final ball of his over. Full toss, clipped off his hip. That'll find the fielder out at deep square. Single from it. 167 for 7. 18 overs completed. Stark's 1 from 1. Cummins is 1 from 1. No G in Cummins, but it's a force of habit. Trying to pronounce Cummins. With Bumrah to bowl his final over. From his previous 3, he's got 1 wicket at the cost of 20 runs. Stark on strike. Left-handed batsman. Swing and a miss straight over the stumps to take a quick single. He'll get a quick single. Shy at the stumps was not a good one. However, 39 from 12 balls. Singles are not good enough. 2s and 3s are not good enough. We need boundaries. Big boundaries. Bumrah runs in, Cummins on strike. Swing and a miss. Straight through to the keeper. 38 from 10. We need a minimum of 4, don't we, from each delivery. 10 4s in a row. I don't see that happening. Let's hope there's no wides or no balls if you're an Indian fan. If you're an Australian fan, you'll be praying for them. Cummins on strike. Bumrah runs in. This one's slog swept over, well, pulled over the leg side. That's more like it. It sounded good when he hit it. And it's gone over forward square leg kind of area. 174 for 7. Another 4 6s. Keep things interesting, wouldn't it? Bumrah runs in. Cummins on strike. Balls of Yorker outside off stump. Can't get any bat on that. Too good for the batsman. Dot ball. 32 required from 8. You can't hit a 6 off that kind of delivery. Two balls left of this 19th over. Cummins on strike. Bumrah runs in. Pitches this one up right in the block hole. Cummins just jabs his bat down. Single to backward point. 175 for 7 and not what Australia need, but I mean, what do you do with that? Final ball left of Bumrah's over. Pretty much need 4 or 5 6s here. Full toss. Stark drives it down past the bowler, down the ground. They'll run for 2. They'll get 2. Throw comes in from the fielder at long on. 177 for 7. 19 overs completed. 29 runs needed from 6 deliveries. Stark walks up to Cummins, he grimaces. I'm not sure if that's because the wind's blowing in his face or if he's just sort of resigned to the fact that either something extraordinary is going to happen in this final over that will be replayed for many a year to come. My guess is he knows the writing's on the wall and he's just seen the fat lady gargling. Or she'll be getting ready to sing. And that's no reference to the Indian player. Hardick's going to bowl the last over. Cummins waits. Pulls this to long on. Just be a single. They're coming back for a second. May as well. It makes no difference. And they'll get the second. Kohli made sure he got the stop in. Launched the ball back. And that is not enough. 179 for 7. Good effort from Australia, but it's just faltered. Just faltered towards the end of the innings. Cummins clubs this over leg side. Dropped by the fielder at deep mid-wicket, but the main thing is he stops it going for a boundary. Jadeja just died on him. It went at some rate of knots as well, but the main thing is he dropped the catch, but he didn't let the ball go to the boundary, and it was just a single. So now 26 runs needed, 4 deliveries left. So now we're going to have to be looking at what happens tonight for Australia. That's just a slower bouncer from Hardy. Stark looks to pull it. But no bat on ball, bamboozled by the bowler. That's a dot, 3 balls left. Who's that? Dick runs in. Stark on strike. Tries to pull it to the leg side again. That's a dot ball. Funny there, the keeper shies at the stumps. Hardick at the bowler's end where you'd expect him to be. Then has to field the ball, hurts his fingers, and has a go at the keeper saying, "What are you doing?" Comedy of errors. 180 for 7. Hardick bowls a slower ball to Stark, straight through to the keeper, can't get bat on it, and I can hear the dulcet tones of that fat lady as she begins to yodel, or it could be a vuvuzela. But 1 ball left. Australia have come up short. India are going to be playing England in the semi-finals. Last ball, Hardick runs in. Stark flat bats this ball down about 10 yards in front of him. That'll be a single. 181 for 7 after 20 overs. India beat Australia comfortably in the end. India win by 24 runs. Commiserations to Genwill. No doubt you'll be disappointed with that one, mate. But I don't think Australia played particularly badly. I think it's just a case of India on the day were on the mettle. So for tonight now, I want to see the table. What's occurring now in respect of that? Who Australia still have a chance of going through here, or is that it? I'm not sure what the run rate situation is. But if Bangladesh were to beat Afghanistan, where does this leave Australia now? Cummins looks a little bit disappointed coming off, as you would expect. I was going to say, if anybody knows what needs to happen, what's the permutations now for this group, let us know in the chat. But we haven't got any chat. So we know that England and South Africa are definitely into the semi-finals. India will play England. But is that it now? Australia, are they out of it? Or can they still get that fourth spot with the run rate, depending on what happens tonight with Afghanistan and Bangladesh? Let's have a look at the standings. So as things stand now, Australia are on 2 points from the group. Afghanistan are on 2 points from the group. Australia have got a slightly better run rate than Afghanistan. So if Bangladesh beat Afghanistan tonight, then Australia, there'd be 3 teams on 2 points, and Australia would have the better run rate. So there is still that outside chance that Australia go through. Unless I'm reading that wrong. Either way, we'll find out tonight when we watch. Have a look what time we're on. But 1:30, we've got Afghanistan, Bangladesh. When we watch that, we'll find out more then. Right, I'm going to shoot off, get some jobs done, hopefully get some sleep. We'll see you, well, I won't see you at 1:25. I'll be recording at 1:25, and we'll put it out live as quickly as we can, as live, if that makes sense. Well done to India. Commiserations to Australia. We'll find out who gets that fourth and final spot in the semi-finals later tonight. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe. More importantly at the minute, please hit the like buttons on the videos. That'll be important to us. Click the notifications bell, because hopefully when we do get live streaming up and running, you can keep abreast of what we've got coming. Thanks for joining us. I am Jimmy James. You've been watching Catch It Live First. We'll be back with you again soon.